Yeah, and in the end, what it was about is I wouldn't allow this lieutenant to punish this black firefighter. And that was the beginning of an unending 15 years of constant escalating retaliation.
Silly Jimmy Burlo, always standing up for the rights of minorities. When are you ever going to learn, brother? Well, you'll never learn, and that's why your story is going to resonate with me, it's going to resonate with the public. So let's briefly explain these things that you're going to see in the movie now. Okay? You see, Jimmy had 3 strikes against him and then some. Strike 1. He's not a legacy firefighter. Okay? His name was believed to have been Spanish. Whatever it wasn't Irish enough, so that's a problem. Strike 2. He defended a black man. I believe his name was Richard Garcia. They were playing basketball one day, and he outplayed a white superior. And after that, a series of racial epithets and other racist conduct commenced toward Mr. Garcia. So Mr. Burlo came to Mr. Garcia's defense, and the next thing you know, he was facing a physical attack, as well as a series of disciplinary actions that culminated in a trumped-up Civil Rights Commission filing for sexual harassment, with the assistant area DA, Julie Higgins, teaming up with her buddy Sheila Lahey. You'll see her there together. They're best friends forever, okay? Sheila Lahey, or Lahey, whatever her name is, okay? So all this ties in with those cops snooping around. And it ties in with the area district attorney, Dan Conley, who's not running for re-election this year. Anyway, Conley can't stand me, okay? You see how they act toward me. He won't even answer my questions, all right? So,
are you a credentialed member of the press?
I'm a member of the press.
Show me your credentials.
How was it the murders who got on? How was it the murders who got on?
Show me your credentials, okay?
I don't have to. I'm sure your credentials.
If you're not a member, a credentialed member of the press, I'm not going to answer.
You know what? I'll get that for you. I mean, what?
You know something? I don't talk to anybody.
You know what? No, you don't. You can be as rude as you want to be, and I'll get it right here. Because, in point of fact, I was credentialed the whole time by dint of my professional experiences as a daily reporter for the Indianapolis Star and a weekly editor at the Ohio Call and Post prior to law school in 1990, and by none other than the Supreme Judicial Court of Massachusetts in 2012, where I was the first non-corporate entity to be so ordained. Now, we are enthused that forthright journalists are now reviewing the matter a decade later, because I've seen a quantum of proof that leads me to believe James Berlo has been the victim of decades-long systemic abuse and corruption.
It's sauntering up your driveway as if there's nothing wrong with this.
These are the same people that harangued the Quincy police and surveyed my house. Right here, I was sick with pneumonia, October 2014, 10 o'clock in the morning. Went to get in the shower. 7 police cars, an unmarked car, a search dog. When I answered the door...
So this is Mr. Burlo's home. He can't live up here because he can't get a permit from the city, even though his neighbors are building.
Mr. Burlo has to the entirety since day one.
He has to live down there in the basement, around the corner there. We're here at Mr. Burlo's residence. This was taken about a week ago, and there appears to be a Boston police officer.
Plainclothes.
And a plainclothes.
And uniform.
And uniform, right. Exactly what they're doing here, I don't know.
City of Quincy Police was not contacted and have no record of any activity on Prescott Terrace all that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what right do they have to be on your property? What the hell are they doing?
They don't have the right to be in uniform here on any police business. Let me back up here.
There they go.
Yep. They look a little nervous. They don't seem like they're for any deliberate action. Wait till you see when they go to the alley door.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can speed it up a little. Plus, my house and property is clearly posted no trespass, and literally says posted.
Yeah, and if they have no legitimate reason to be here, they're trespassing. I don't care if you got a badge and a gun. I don't care what you got.
Exactly. That's why it says posted.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, man, people want to try to get on me. Look, you know, I'm sympathetic to law enforcement. I was a law enforcement attorney for a number of years. It's not about that. You know, it's about abuse of privilege.
Well, you have to remember, that's how I retired. Boston Police, December 16th, outside Boston Fire Headquarters. One of them with the arson squad attempted to detain me on public property as I was leaving headquarters. And it was all a ruse because they had this paddy wagon with this officer, Arabag Harani, who the city's paid out over $500,000 on.
He assaulted the hell out of that guy at that nightclub, didn't he?
Yeah, practically killed him, and he's got a long list of abuses, but never even received a written reprimand. He should be terminated and prosecuted.
No, I know, right? He should be in prison.
It's because that's what they do. They got Boston police officers that do dirty deeds in exchange for leniency or lack of punishment.
That's right. They're enforcers.
And in fact, Boston Police is one of the most corrupt police departments in the nation. They don't have dozens, they have hundreds of unresolved internal affairs cases. Witness intimidation is usually a thing.
Yeah, and therefore, guess what's, you know, so ironic and coincidental at the same time about this?
Yeah.
Is that their police chief, you know, now is in Seattle, where I live. Yeah.
He's just a puppet, the elf.
Here they come. Mm-hmm. It's sauntering up your driveway as if there's nothing wrong with this.
Now it looks like after my neighbor said somebody does live there, it looks like an apparent ambush. Here's the alley side of my house to the entrance to my cellar.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. Look at this. Watch how he steps back. Then he sends his partner around the front to see if I run out front or something. Watch this. Now watch him peek around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Look at. Remember what they're gonna do? Shoot me?
Hey, little salt and pepper team here, little Tubbs and Crockett going on there.
Yeah, they watch too much 70s television, I think. Reruns. It's a little nervous. If they were there for something, they, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can see them finally departing. What were they doing here? They had no official business. They had no right being here.
I'm going to make a movie out of this with the quickness, Mr. Burlo. And it'll be up on my YouTube channel. And you can go to City Hall and demand an answer.
This has to get on the World Wide Web, on the internet, on their Facebook, the Boston Police, Dan Conley's Facebook. It has to get on the city attorneys if they have one, on Mayor Marty Walsh's Facebook.
Yep.
Especially each city councilors.
Yeah.
They got some explaining to do.
Strike three. He also defended an Hispanic man, Albert Arroyo, who was scapegoated for disability and pension abuse. Okay, there was a federal investigation some years back into these types of abuses, and the legacy firefighters had made it all into a game. Someone would step into a higher-ranking veteran position, all right, for a day, and then have a career-ending injury that day at that precise moment, and then retire with a golden parachute. Okay, so Albert Arroyo was not a legacy firefighter. He wasn't in the clique, all right? But he had injuries that he sustained on the job. And the problem is, when they went after him in this federal criminal prosecution, I believe it was Exhibit 26 he showed me, was a letter from their own physician noting that the regimented, structured activity of bodybuilding and weightlifting was beneficial for Mr. Arroyo. So that's why the jury was only out for 4 hours. Yet how did all the mass media cover this? Surprise verdict. Surprise verdict. Oh, really? What was so surprising about that? That the white power structure couldn't crush this minority man? Huh. So anyway, Mr. Burlo came to his defense. And we videoed that, okay? And guess what? That's when those cops started showing up at his house. Fancy that.
Now look at Sheila Lahey here on December 16th, 2010. She's moving just fine, but yeah, she's out on disability. This is the same stuff that they smacked down Albert Arroyo for, the bodybuilder, even though he was legal. Now, on this day, they also ambushed him, and they destroyed his personal records and stopped his pay. The officers involved in that ambush have since been arrested for other crimes, but nobody's ever given Mr. Burlo any reparations. They instead trumped up those false MCAD charges, and there was a woman at MCAD who confided in Mr. Burlo that it was all bogus. Now, at least thanks to me exposing the Quincy corruption and the lies by Margaret LaForest and city inspectors there of using FEMA statutes incorrectly, Mr. Burlo finally got to build out his home. Yeah, King Cast, just the facts.